Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. I am frankly FM22. Thanks for coming back and joining me on another video right here on YouTube. Yesterday you might have seen we completed season 4 of the Red Bull Salzburg Rebuild Challenge, and we had won the Bundesliga, the Champions League and the OFB Cup. Yes, we had done the treble. If you haven't seen yesterday's episode, go back and have a look, because it is interesting to see exactly where the squad is and how we are going to approach season 5. There was only £1.7 million in the transfer kitty yesterday. That got boosted quite a lot, and as ever we're going to start off this episode with the players that have left the club and the players that have joined the club. We're going to go through the transfers, we're going to go through the finances that are left. We are also going to have a look at the club vision. We're going to go through the schedule and show you what's happened so far in the season. Also then going to look at the squad after those transfers and show you where we might need to strengthen for the last part of the save. And in the next couple of episodes we'll be rounding out this challenge, hopefully with back-to-back Champions League glories. But let's jump into this one then. Let's start off with these transfers. As I said, we have had a few players leave the club. The first of which was Tolga9 Shaheen. He has gone to SV Reed. Brandon Aronson, he ended up going to River Plate. He ended up going on a free transfer. Couldn't really break into my first team, which was a little bit strange. Yeah, only played 6 games. Couldn't renew his contract. He decided he'd had enough. Obviously, we'd sent him out on loan to Wolfsburg along the way. Yeah, it was a little bit unfortunate. In real life, he's absolutely smashing it for Leeds, but he just could not break into the first team here. We obviously signed players that were a little bit better at this moment in time, or at that moment in time, and yeah, he just couldn't get through. But he has gone to River Plate on a free transfer. Sebastian Kunstner has gone to Altach on a free. Andrew Omabomidele, he has gone to Anderlecht for £5.5 million. Another one that we signed with a lot of potential. Couldn't get him into the first team really. We have a settled back for the way we play football. Just didn't really work out for him. Elias Hoff Melkerson has gone to Rapid Vienna on loan. Moritz Kiergaard was another one we couldn't really get into the first team. Tried to develop him. £1.2 million he has left the club. Let's just have a little look at him along the way. Did we send him out on loan anywhere? No, we didn't. He just couldn't break into the first team, and he has joined Midtjylland for £1.2 million. Lawrence Agaikum is the next one to go out to Reed for £650,000. Mohamed Kamara has gone to Union Berlin for 2.3. Ezekiel Zabios, there is a reason for this transfer. We have bought a player on the other side that pretty much replaces him like for like. It's a big investment as well, but we got £2.8 million for him. And then the big talking point is Timothy Pembele. He was allowed to leave to go to Aston Villa. We didn't really want to sell him. Obviously, he'd been, I think, player of the season for last season. Couldn't convince him to stay though. £30 million come in. He asked us to consider it, and we said, yeah, fair play. You've been good for us. We'll let you move on. So that means obviously that we've had players leave the club, and we weren't going to do too much transfer business, but we ended up spending £76 million, as you do for the final season. First player we bought in is Brandon Previtali. He is the first of the regens, I think, that we are signing. And just look at this kid. He is a defender. Plays in the centre, 19 years old, 6'3", pace 13, acceleration 12, tackling 13, heading of 16, jumping reach 15. All the attributes that you need to be a successful defender in Football Manager. So he's one that we are going to definitely try and bring through. The next one is Octavio Venceslau Souza. He is a striker who can play as a midfielder. A bit of a unique one. If you see over here, the reason that we signed him and the other one that we signed in the next gen, so we have got Octavio Venceslau Souza ranked as the #1 next gen player for the period 25-26. For 24-25. Yeah, he was one that we really just could not resist going out and buying. I couldn't work out what it was about him that was so brilliant. I mean, look at these names on here. Gavi, Bellingham, Pedri, Fati, Rodrigo. Clubs, Anderlecht, Milan, Ajax, Dortmund, Madrid, Barcelona, Estoril. Yeah, it just said go and buy him. So we went out, we spent the money. I think he's going to be an absolute fantastic addition. A bit late in the game, really, for us to be purchasing this type of player because we're not going to see their development going forward. But if they can contribute right here, right now, we'll take that as well. The next one that you might have also seen next to our friend on the next gen list is Isaac Cantu. He is a Mexican who plays in midfield, plays a defensive midfielder too. Everybody knows I love the roaming playmaker position, so he is the player who is probably going to be ending up in there in a bit of a battle with Tyler Morton. Makes perfect sense to go out and buy him. He's on the next gen list. He wasn't too expensive, £7 million from Kivas. We went and spent the money. The final one, though, is a big investment, and this is a player who's going to come in and he's going to make an instant impact. It's Shola Shortire, the player that everybody was raving about, I believe, in last year's game, and he has only got better in this year's game. He is a true wonder kid, comes from Manchester United, and I think he's going to have a big, big future at the club. So that's all of the transfer business done. Let's show you what is left in the tank. In terms of finances, we have £61 million in the bank and we have £18.75 million available to us. So haven't even spent all of the budget. Didn't really think there was any other players in any other positions that we needed to strengthen. I did mention yesterday probably signing a left back, but Commonsea has played so well we just decided to leave it. Wage budget £1.26 million. We are currently spending £1.126 million. So a little bit of gap still in the wage budget, working towards working within it, and that is exactly what we are doing. So let's have a little look at the club vision then. So very secure as a job. B for performance, developing players using the club's youth system, pleased. Still Ghanaian and Malian players are a no. Play high tempo pressing football, they are delighted. Play possession football, they are pleased. Play entertaining football, they are pleased. Work within a wage budget, we are on course. Sign young players to develop for a profit, they are pleased. And then going forwards, the end of the current season, they want to reach the first round of the knockout stage of the Champions League. UEFA Super Cup, not important. And the Bundesliga, win the Bundesliga. And the OFB Cup is not important. Going forwards, they want us to continue to win the Bundesliga. We've been doing that at a canter. So, obviously, we're at the 2nd of September. That means that the league has kicked off. Let's show you the schedule and show you how we have got on. Playing in the Club World Cup, it didn't really go to plan. As I said, if you look at some of the names, wow, you might not be able to see them underneath me, but if I expand, yeah, for some reason the game, I think it's a little bit glitched. Why is it generating a match report? Okay, so yeah, just going a bit of a go slow there. Yeah, generating a match report here. You can't even really see some of the names here, but we didn't really have a full strength squad. There are some names on that list that, like, just wouldn't really get into the first team. I think we've even got a few players here. Florian Mayer's not even a real player. Ben Lucas Spitz is not even a real player. We ended up having to register a team, and then you register the players to take with you, and then all of a sudden they get called up for international duty. So I'm not too sure whether there's a glitch in the game and that doesn't really work out. You're best, when you go and play in a Club World Championship, to just take with you players that are non-internationals, because you know they're going to make the trip. Yeah, it just hindered us somewhat. But we started off in great fashion. We won 4-0 in the first game against Corinthians. Noosa, Woba, Okafor and Gilmore getting the goals. Then had a 0-0 draw against SH Port, so Shanghai Port. We did get through. There was no problem there, even though we didn't win. Max Woba missed a penalty. And then finally, we got knocked out in the quarterfinals against Liverpool in a absolutely fantastic, mad game. A 4-4 draw in normal time. Oh, sorry, in extra time. Okafor, Farias and Noosa getting the goals for us. And then Mane, Bastoni, Salah and Luis Diaz scoring for them. And then it went all the way to penalties, in which we lost. So, quarterfinals of the Club World Cup is not the worst thing in the world. We got all the players back, went through the friendlies, and then we started the season with an 8-0 win in the OFB Cup first round. Really put them to the sword. Shortire, Shirky, Previtali, Aydin and Scarlett all getting goals. We then started the Bundesliga with a 2-1 win against Ried. We had a 1-1 draw then in a crazy game against Blau-Weiß Linz. A little bit embarrassed about that one. Attendance of 1,800, newly promoted team, and we huffed and puffed and could not blow their doors in. Dane Scarlett getting an equaliser after we give away an early goal, but it was a poor performance and we needed to bounce back, and that's exactly what we did. We beat Austria Vienna 4-0. Goals from Sandri, Dane Scarlett, Papetti and Soleil. We then went and played in the UEFA Super Cup. It's a good job the board weren't bothered about that because we didn't win it. Played against Milan, so a difficult game. Soleil and Woba scoring for us. Benacer, Anderson and Torreira scoring for Milan. Wolfsburger was up next, a 3-2 victory there. Sturm Graz we beat 3-0. And last time out, we drew 0-0 with LASK. So, a bit of a stop-start run to the start of the season. Yeah, I didn't. I kind of got lost for words on how to describe it. It's not what I expected. I thought when we strengthened, we would go on and we would be just blowing teams away. We've had 2 disappointing draws, especially that one against Blau-Weiß Linz. Yeah, there's work to be done here. If we look at the competitions tab, then we are still top of the table, only though by goal difference. 6 played, 4 won, 2 drawn, 9 goal difference, 14 points. We do have Altach of all teams with us on an identical record but with 4 goal difference. Then we have Rapid Vienna and LASK. In terms of defending our Champions League, we've been drawn against Barcelona, Olympiacos and Genk, so that's achievable to get out of the group stage, even if we have to finish runners-up to Barcelona. Finish runners-up in the Super Cup, and then in the OFB Cup, we've been drawn against ATSV Stadl Power. So, interesting team to come up against in that competition too. Okay then, let's have a quick look at some stats in the Bundesliga just before we show you the squad and where we are. So, Dane Scarlett has started the season in scintillating form. 5 goals from his first 6 games. Puts him top of the board. We've got Omar Soleil there on 3 goals from 6 games. Also, most assists, Ryan Shirky with 6. We also have Billy Gilmore up there with 3. So once again, Gilmore coming to the front, and Ryan Shirky is now starting to be the player that we thought he would be. Most shots, Dane Scarlett with 23, Ryan Shirky with 22, and Omar Soleil with 18. Most Player of the Match awards, 2 of those. Kevin Gunther leads the way, but we've got Ryan Shirky on 2 and Dane Scarlett on 2. Most key passes is Ryan Shirky. He's having a really good start to the season. He's been in fantastic form. Billy Gilmore also up there too. Most tackles won, Jurgen Muller. We do have Woba and Namdi Collins on the board with 18 and 17 tackles. Most dribbles, Luke Fadinger is leading the way, and we don't have anybody on there. Most clean sheets, Joe Bursick is on the board with 3 from 6 appearances, and fewest conceded. Bursick has conceded 4 in 6 games. 2 in 6 is the best in the league. Looking at the other stats then, shots on target per 90 minutes, Dane Scarlett with 2.38. Tackles per 90 minutes, Namdi Collins with 4.35. Collins and Okafor lead the way with team goals. Crosses attempted per 90 minutes, Shirky with 15. We have nothing in the average minutes per goal. Red cards, we've got 2. We've got Prevatelli and Tyler Morton, so 2 midfield naughty boys. Shots per 90 minutes, Ryan Shirky with 3.98. And then cross completion, 52% of crosses from Billy Gilmore. So let's take us back to the competitions tab. Once again, as I said, we are leading the way in the Bundesliga. Champions League group looks doable. I think we can qualify from that, and the cup is drawn. So the last thing to look at then before we move on to the winter transfer window is not the topics. It is the assistant report, and as always, we will have a little look at the squad and how we are getting on. So our goalkeeper is Bursick. We have Namdi Collins now at left back, even though he should be a centre back. Woba, Soleil and Comencia is now moved to right back. Tyler Morton, Gilmore and Johannesson in the middle. We've got Okafor and Shirky, who are dangerous out wide, and Dane Scarlett up top as always. So a few players there I think I'd rejig around. Namdi Collins definitely isn't a left back, but can play there, so we will explore that if that's what our assistant thinks can happen. You never know. Maybe in the winter transfer window we will have to go out and invest in a wing back. Midfield is set, wingers are set, Dane Scarlett scoring goals. Happy days. Right then, it's the 2nd of September 2025 in-game, and that means that in tomorrow's episode we will be going to around the 2nd or 3rd of February. By that point we will have completed the winter transfer window. It will be the final transfer window of the save. You're going to have to come back and find out whether we add to the squad. Like I said, we probably could do with a wing back, but the way we're playing suggests we might need a couple more players. Bit of patchy form at the start of the season. Can we improve? Don't think there's any need for us to do anything drastic, but you never know. Right then, I'm going to start wrapping this one up from here. Firstly, if you're at this point in the video still listening to me, I thank you so much. Really, I do appreciate every single person who takes the time out of their day. I know time is precious. Everybody who takes that time to come and spend it with me, I really do appreciate it. To all the people that have hit the like and subscribe button already, a big thank you for that. If you haven't, please go and do so. For this one though, I'm going to start wrapping it there. Before I do go, please check out the channel. There is plenty of content for everybody. Everything from Wonder Kids to tactics to let's plays to tutorials. A little something for everybody. If you find something you like, drop a comment on there and let me know you found something that you like. But for this one, I'm going to wrap it there. Come back tomorrow when we go through the winter transfer window in the Red Bull Salzburg Rebuild Challenge.